Hey, what's going on everyone? It's your boy Redstone9X here, and welcome back to another command block tutorial video. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do TNT armor commands in Minecraft. And what I mean by that is, you could probably guess by the title, that these commands will allow you to give you a set of TNT-like armor that can give you some cool abilities when you wear the full armor set. Now the previous one I did was the lava armor commands, so if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Link will be in the description down below after you finish watching this video. Also, earlier today I did a video called Improved Custom Boss Commands, which that video will also be down below in the description after you finish watching this video as well. And now, before I go into more details on what those commands are to making this work, you know the drill. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. And turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that guys, let us start today's video. Okay guys, so here are all the commands right here, so it's just only a handful of commands into making this all work out. And, as always, I will leave a link in the description down below so you guys can copy and paste them into your world later on. Now, let's start this video. So first off, as always, I'm going to demonstrate how this works. So I can get my TNT armor, which as you can see, they all have protection 1 and blast protection 4 on them, as you see right here. So when you put this armor set on... Oh, actually, hold on. Forgot to turn this on. Okay, now let's put on the armor set. Sorry about that. Okay, so when you put on the armor set, you get this ability called Explosion Attack right over here. And you also get Speed 2. Perfect for getting around faster. But there's also one other thing, which I'll talk about later, and it involves TNT itself. So let's grab some mobs and also some golden apples real quick. And we're actually going to head into this area. I'm going to go into survival, and I'm going to grab these mobs real quick. So I'm going to first demonstrate the explosion attack. So, obviously, you guys are gonna know what this is gonna do, hence the name. So when you right-click, you pretty much explode, just like that. And also, as you can see, that the item is also on a bit of a cooldown, which the cooldown for it is like 3 seconds, which is not bad. So now let's spawn in some mobs to see how well I can take them down. So I'm waiting for them to get relatively close so I can explode them at once. And boom. Look at that. One shot. Next we got some pillagers. And when I right click, also one shot. And actually for these next mobs, the Vindicators, let me get some golden apples on me. But Vindicators, one shot as well. So you can see that the explosion attack is relatively good for mobs like the ones I just showed you. Okay, so now let's move on to the next ability, which involves the pieces of TNT I got. So when you hold the TNT in your offhand, you actually get this special snowball called throwable TNT. And as the name implies, when you throw it like this, it explodes, just like that. And you also may have noticed that it did consume a piece of TNT that was in my offhand, so pretty much for the amount of TNT you have, that's pretty much how many shots of the throwable TNT you got. And obviously when it hits 0, this item will disappear. Or if you put the TNT back in your main hand, that the throwable TNT item will disappear. But this could be pretty good for like, for long range explosion attacks, like so. You can throw it this way, that way, even from above, like so. And just like the explosion attack, this throwable TNT item has a cooldown, so the cooldown for this item is like 2 seconds, which is not bad. So now let's do a combat test. First, we'll summon in some husks. When I throw this down. Okay, so you can see it doesn't completely one-shot them like the explosion attack does, but it still can get the job done if you throw it the right way. Just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we've got some pillagers next. And they all go kaboom just the same. And next we got Vindicators, of course. And kaboom. Boom. And boom. Just like that. So that's pretty much the extent of the TNT armor. So now let's up the ante a little bit. So this time I'm gonna grab some Ravagers and also some enchanted golden apples. And we're gonna test each of these abilities as well. Also, let's reset the area. So let's get my Ravagers and some enchanted golden apples.
3,
and let's do
2,
this.
1, go!
So, explosion attack time. And they're gone. So you can pretty much see how overpowered this TNT armor set really is against mobs as tough as Ravagers. Oh, I should also mention one thing about the explosion attack that I forgot to mention earlier. Is that pretty much after you've used this, you probably will not see this because it's, well, only for a second, but when you use the explosion attack, you pretty much get a resistance boost. I think it's resistance 5 if I remember correctly. That's pretty much what you get, so that way you do not take any explosion damage from your explosion attack. So you may have saw it for a second there, but that's pretty much what you get when you use the explosion attack. Sorry if I forgot to mention that before. And, as always, when you are not wearing the full armor set, all of the effects and items will go away, just like that. Okay, so now that you've seen that, let's go over the command to make this all work out. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, make sure you guys leave a like on this video, and subscribe with notifications turned on. And with that, let's get into the commands, so be back in a sec.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so first things first, we need a couple of scoreboard commands to make this all work out. Starting with this one right here. So it's scoreboard objectives add, and then we do TNT_armor right here, and then we do Minecraft.used:_Minecraft.firework_star right here. And then this command simply removes that scoreboard if needed. And now we're moving on to this scoreboard command. So this one is mostly the same as the last one I just showed you, except here we want to put the name throwable_TNT right here, and then at the end, instead of a firework star, we want to put snowball right over here. And then this command simply removes that scoreboard if needed. Pretty standard stuff. So now we're moving on to the commands which activate the TNT armor set bonus. And like all my other armor videos in the past, make sure the redstone is exactly as you see here. Starting with this one, which will detect if the player is wearing the full armor set. And also, let me clear away this weather. So it's execute at P, run execute if items entity at A, and then we do armor.head, and then put in all the information for the special leathered helmet named TNT helmet, as you see here. And then we do run execute if items entity at A, and this time we do armor.chest, and then put in all the information for the TNT chest plate, as you see here. And then we do the same thing here, except we put armor.legs right over here, and then put in all the information for the TNT leggings, as you see here. And lastly, same thing as all the others, except we put armor.feet right over here, and then put in all the information for the TNT boots as you see here. And make sure you set this command to always active as well. So that you have a redstone comparator like this going this way and one going this way, but we're first gonna go this way. So this next command right here gives the user a special tag called TNT armor. So here is just a simple execute at P, run tag at P, add, and then we do TNT underscore armor. And then this command right here gives the user speed. So it's execute at P, and inside brackets we do tag equals TNT underscore armor. And then here we do this. Run effect give at P, and inside brackets we put the same thing as before. And then here we do Minecraft : speed. For 1 second, 1 for the amplifier, and true for no particle effect. And then this command right here gives a special item called explosion attack. So same first bit as the last one I just showed you, except we do this here. Run item replace entity at P, and inside brackets we do hotbar.for with, and then put in all the information for the special item called explosion attack as you see here. So this next command right here activates the TNT armor scoreboard. So this first bit means when the player has the special firework star with the custom data tag explosion underscore attack : 1B selected, it's going to run this. Run execute as at R at S, if entity at S, and inside brackets we do scores equals, inside color brackets we do TNT underscore armor equals 1, 2 dots at the end, close both brackets, and then we do run scoreboard player set at E, and inside brackets we put the same thing as before, and then you put the same scoreboard name here with 0 at the end. And then this command gives resistance. So this command is pretty much exactly the same as the one that gives you speed as I showed earlier, except at the end we just put resistance. For 1 second, 4 for the amplifier, and true for no particle effect. And then this command right here is where it summons the TNT where the user is. So same first bit here, except we do this in the second half. Run summon Minecraft : TNT, and then you put 3 squiggly lines like this, and inside these brackets you put fuse : 0. So this is there so that way the TNT will explode immediately when it's summoned. Because if you do not have that little tag there when you summon the TNT, it will not explode right away, just so you know. Okay, so now this command right here resets the scoreboard. So as you can see, it's a simple scoreboard players reset at A, TNT underscore armor. So now these next few commands right here are for the throwable TNT, or give you the ability to throw TNT. And also, I should note some limitations to the throwable TNT. But as I demonstrated in the video, it didn't really happen, so I guess I got lucky there, but I'll still go over them anyway, just so you know. So for one, it won't explode if you throw it very close or relatively close to yourself. You are not immune to the explosion damage from it, meaning that the resistance effect does not kick in when you throw the throwable TNT relatively close or if you get caught in the blast. It only happens for the explosion attack you get resistance from. Number 3 is that it has a random chance of not exploding at all. Meaning that when I was testing this, there are some moments that when you throw it, it just won't explode at all for some unknown reason. Like, I literally do not know why, but just so you know. And then the last thing, and this one may be a bit obvious, but if you hit mobs directly with it, it will not explode at all. And that is kind of a little bit unfortunate because it literally would make sense if you throw it directly at a mob, it should explode, but for some reason it doesn't. And I looked for other alternatives, I could not find any, so make sure you guys keep that in mind. Oh, and the other thing I should note is that the TNT will still be quote-unquote used even when these limitations occur. Meaning that the TNT will still clear away from your offhand every time you use it, even if it's a dud. So make sure you guys keep that in mind while using this. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get back into the commands. So this next one right here gives the special item called throwable TNT when there is TNT blocks in your offhand. So same first bit as all the others I've shown you, except we do this here. Run, execute if items entity at P, and inside brackets we do the same thing as before. And then here we do weapon.offhand TNT, so this is how you detect if TNT is in your offhand. And then the rest is mostly the same as the one that gives you the explosion attack item. Except here, we want to put hotbar.0 instead, with, and then you put in all the information for the throwable TNT as you see here. So now this command right here removes the item when the TNT is not in your offhand. So this first half of the command is pretty much the same as the last one I just showed you, except here we want to put unless instead of if right over here, and then we do this. Run clear at P, and then you just put in all the information for the throwable TNT item once again. So now this command right here activates the throwable TNT scoreboard. So this first bit means when the player has the special snowball with the custom data tag throwable_TNT:1B selected, it's going to run this. And actually this second half of the command is pretty much exactly the same as the one for the TNT armor, except here we want to put the scoreboard name throwable TNT equals 1, 2 dots at the end, close wall brackets here, and then we put the same scoreboard name here, and at the end with 0 right over here. And then this command right here removes one TNT block after each throw. So this first half of the command is pretty much exactly the same as the one that gives you the throwable TNT item when you have the TNT in your offhand, except in the second half we do this. Run, clear IP, and inside brackets we put the same thing as before, and then you do TNT 1 at the end. And then this command right here resets the scoreboard for it. So again, same first bit, except we do this here. Run, execute unless entity at E, and inside brackets we do type equals snowball, comma MBT equals, inside curly brackets we do item colon ID colon, micro colon snowball, comma count colon 1, components colon, and inside these curly brackets we put the custom data tag throwable_TNT:1B. So this section of the command pretty much means if the actual snowball entity with the throwable TNT data tag is not around, then it will run this command. Run scoreboard players reset at A throwable_TNT. And make sure you set this chain command block to unconditional as well. Otherwise the command will not work properly. And also for the beginning part of that command, that is so it doesn't activate the scoreboard when you throw normal snowballs. Because if you do that, then it might accidentally cause the TNT to disappear from your inventory when it does not need to. So that is to stop any confusion there between the snowball and also the throwable TNT one, if that makes sense. Okay, so moving on. So this command right here creates a TNT-like block particle trail. So this first half of the command is mostly the same as the last one I just showed you, except here we want to put if instead of unless right over here. And then in the second half we do this. Run execute as at E, and inside brackets we do type equals Minecraft : snowball at S, and then we do run particle Minecraft : block, and inside these color brackets we do block _ state : Minecraft : TNT, and then we do 3 squiggly lines like this with 0.1 3 times, 0.01 here, 15, and then you do force at the end here. And then this command right here detects if the actual snowball entity is around. So as you can see, this command is pretty much exactly the same as the first half of the last one I just showed you. So there you have a redstone comparator going this way, and also going this way. But we're gonna first go this way right here. So this next command summons TNT if the snowball lands on top of a block. So it's execute as at E, and inside brackets we do type equals snowball at S unless block, and then we do 3 up arrows like this with -1 here, Minecraft : air, and then we just do run summon Minecraft : TNT, 3 squiggly lines like this, and they inside these brackets fuse : 0. So then this command's the same thing, except this summons TNT if the snowball lands on top and in front of a block. So as you can see, it's exactly the same, except we want to come over here and change some of the numbers. So you want to put -1 here, like before, and then you put -1 over here, like so. And then the rest is pretty much the same. And then this command is the same thing, except this summons TNT if the snowball lands beneath a block. So it's the same thing as the others, except we want to come over here to this bit, and you want to put 1 right over here. And then same thing with this one, except this summons TNT when the snowball lands beneath and in front of a block. So we're gonna come over to this bit, right over here, and then you want to put 1 and 1 right over here. And then this one right here summons TNT if the snowball lands directly in front. So we want to come over here to this bit, and you want to put 1.5 right over here. So the idea of these commands that I just showed you is that it's supposed to cover the possible directions that you can throw the throwable TNT, so that way the TNT will explode in the areas you throw the snowball in. Or at least that's the idea anyway. So with that, let's move on to the next few commands. So these last 3 commands in front of me remove certain things like tags and items. Oh, and also, make sure you have a redstone comparator like this coming from this first one with the redstone torch leading into them. So this next command right here removes the tag TNT armor. So this command is pretty much exactly the same as the one that gives you the tag, except here we want to put inside these brackets tag equals TNT _ armor, and then we put the same thing here, and then you just need to do remove TNT _ armor. Then this command removes the explosion attack. So here it's just a simple execute at P, run clear at P, and then you just put in all the information for the fireworks star named explosion attack, as you see here. And then this last command is the same thing, except this removes the throwable TNT item. So again, first bit is exactly the same, except here we just want to put in all the information for the throwable TNT, as you see here. And yeah, that is pretty much TNT armor commands in Minecraft. And that, my friends, is gonna wrap up for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more videos like this, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that guys, thanks for watching and I'll catch you all next week in the next one. Goodbye!